In this exercise, you are going to create a snow globe. We're going to start by making a new file, and we're going to go ahead up at the top and put in the name of the file, which is going to be your period number underscore your last name underscore snow globe. The width is going to be 1,000 pixels, the height 1,000 pixels, and the resolution 72 pixels per inch. And we are going to click OK. First thing I want to do is go to my background layer and unlock it and then name it globe. Then I want to go ahead and fill it with black. Now, since black is my foreground color, I could use my paint bucket, or if I did Option Delete, it's going to fill with my foreground color. Either one is acceptable. Next, I want to go ahead and go up to the filter menu and choose Render, Lens Flare, and I want to change the brightness to 75% and keep it at 50 to 300 millimeter zoom and click OK. And it creates a lens flare there in the middle. Then I want to go back up to the filter menu and choose Distort, Polar Coordinates. With polar coordinates, I want to choose polar to rectangular down at the bottom and then click OK. And at this point, it has moved our lens flare. Then I'm going to go to the Edit menu and choose Transform, Flip Vertical, which is going to put it at the bottom. And then I'm going to go to the filter menu again and choose Distort, Polar Coordinates, and this time rectangular to polar. And now we have a spherical shape that has a lens flare. Next, we want to use our magic wand and set our tolerance at 50% or 50. And then we're going to select this green area in the background because we don't want that. It should select all of it. If it doesn't, you may have to add to your selection. And now I'm going to do a select inverse so that it has just the sphere selected. Now I want to go ahead and go to the Select menu and choose Save Selection, and I want to call this Globe. Now, this is a good time to go ahead and File, Save As, save our work. I created already inside my work area. You should go ahead and go to your school's folder and create a folder called Fall Final and go ahead and save this file. That way you can just Command S now as you go. Okay, so now that we have this layer done and a selection made, we want to copy our selection to a new layer. So I'm going to do Command J. I could do Command C and then make a new layer and Command V to paste, but Command J does it all on its own. Okay, so there it is. Now I want to go ahead and create another new layer. I'm going to move this to the middle, and I want to go ahead and fill this layer with black. And remember, since black is my foreground color, I can do Option Delete, and it automatically fills it with black. Next, I want to use my Channels panel. And if I go to my Channels tab, there are some options down at the bottom, and one of them is some little dotted lines in an oval on the left. It says Load Channel as Selection. And that's what we want to do. So I am going to click on that oval, go to my layers panel, create a new layer, call it highlights, and I'm going to make sure that my background color is white. If it's not, I can click on this little black and white over here to get the default foreground background colors. Now, Option Delete was fill with black. We have our little selection here. I want to fill it with white. So instead of Option Delete, I'm doing Command Delete. And I'm going to hit that 3 times. Command Delete once, twice, and 3 times. And so that gives us a nice, what looks like a piece of glass for the snow globe. I can then deselect, which is Command D, and the highlights is now the globe. Go ahead and Command S to save what you're working on so far. Now, you're going to need to open another photo in Photoshop. I've already chosen a photo of my niece and nephew, and I've already made a selection on it. You can either choose a photo of yourself, a photo of your family, of you and your friends, of your pets, or you can choose an image from the internet. It doesn't have to be of any one person, it can be of a building, but you want to make a selection and don't just leave it as a rectangular image. So here, I'm going to now copy. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make a new layer and I'm going to paste. Then I'm going to move this layer underneath the highlights. I am going to hide those 2 globe layers, which we're going to wind up deleting later, but we're going to hide them for now. And then you're going to need to resize so that this image, whatever you have, fits nicely inside your globe. Okay, and if you chose some sort of a building, it's okay to have it square out. We're going to fix that now. Okay, so now I have my image in there and I want to look at it. See, this is where the lens flare is. It's also the lightest part of my image, and that works. Had this been over on this side, I would have wanted to do a flip horizontal. Okay, so with this selected, I'm going to go up to the filter menu. I'm going to choose lens correction, and I'm going to go to custom, and I'm going to do -40. Notice how it kind of curves the edges to make it just appear like it is inside a globe. And now I'm going to have to transform again. Remember, transform, Command T, or it's under the edit menu. Also, if you hold down Shift and Option while you're dragging, notice how it resizes from all sides at the same time. Okay, so there it goes. That's where I'm going to keep it. All right. Next, I want to go up to my Select menu and go to Load Selection and choose Globe so that that selection is there again. I want to put a layer mask on the image. That is the rectangle with the circle in it. And because I have a selection, it is applying that as the layer mask. Okay, so that makes sure that no matter where I move this image, oops, that's not true, that whatever is outside of this, like if you had a square or a rectangle, that it's not it's not outside of the image. Okay, so that's what we're doing with that. Okay, so next I want to go to my highlights layer, and I want to duplicate this highlights layer by dragging it to the new layer icon, and then I'm going to merge these together. Remember, I hold the Shift key down to select more than 2 layers. Then I can control and merge, and they become one again. Okay? All right, so now we need to go ahead and go up to our image menu, canvas size, and I want to change inches to pixels, and we need to adjust the size of this document a little bit. We're going to go ahead and make the width of it 2000 and the height of it 1300, and click OK. We will go back to this layer 2 and go ahead and Option Delete to fill the rest of it with black. And now go up to the top, and we're going to make a new layer and call it Base. Now, with our base, we're creating the little base that the globe stands on. Okay, so I'm going to start. I want to be, and I might help to zoom in a little to make sure that you are on the edge. I'm going to start right there, work my way over. Right about there. Okay, now we don't want black and white to fill it, so we're going to have to choose a couple different colors. Foreground color, let's go ahead and type in the hexadecimal code 3A1D06. It gives kind of a dark brown, and we can use our paint bucket to fill. And then we're going to go to the background color, and we're going to type in 90562A, which is a lighter color. Go ahead and click OK. Now, these two colors are going to work together when I go to Filter, Render, Fibers. I want that set at 16 for the variance and 4 for the strength, and click OK. And right now it kind of looks kind of woody. I want to go ahead and put a layer mask with my selection still made, a layer mask on that base. I want to click on the link to unlink it, and then click on the thumbnail of the image to make it active. Now what I want to do is go to the filter menu and blur, motion, and we are going to blur this, the angle at 0 and the distance at 75 pixels. Now, the reason that we put a layer mask on it is because by blurring it, it would have gone all the way out here, and that's not what we wanted. Go ahead and do a Command S to save, and you're going to go to the next video.